Hey, happy Sunday there, good people. Just wanted to show off my tanks here real quick if you want to see them. So I inherited this tank about 6 months ago, and it's filled with Guppy Endler hybrids. There's some magenta. Oh, there goes a double swordtail right there. It's filled with Endler half blacks, and it came from a Moscow female, some magenta, some snake. I just cleaned this tank today. If you're ever bored on a Sunday, get a bunch of fish, and you spend your whole afternoon cleaning tanks and doing water changes. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so this is my 50-gallon. It was given to me about 6 months ago by a woman who just didn't have any time for it anymore, a friend of mine. Nice lady, and she has a farm, so I guess she just doesn't have time for the fish. Some real cool stuff here going on. But this is my Guppy Endler hybrid colony right here. 50-gallon, got an air pump. It's got a canister filter. I haven't cleaned it yet. I'm sure it takes lots of maintenance. I'm not looking forward to cleaning it. But large, healthy plant, big bunch of floating Ancharis there, and it's got a couple of speckled blue crayfish in it to kind of do cleanup. But yeah, that's one. And then this is my oldest tank over here. This is the one I do everything wrong with. I have not cleaned it yet, you can see, because there's algae growing on the glass there. But cheap filtration. I hang inside and I hang on back. The hang on back has a homemade intake. But I do everything wrong with this tank and it still just does great. It's in a window, it gets morning sun. I have the lights on all day. It's way overstocked. There's probably about, 30, 40 fish in here. And even though there's all these fish in here, thanks to all of the cover, see if we can find one here, I still get fry. They hide out in the plants and down here in this moss ball. And yeah. But yeah, they say you shouldn't put your tank in a window. They say that you shouldn't run your lights constantly. And yeah, it's done pretty well. Got some neat stuff. Yeah, sorry about that. We got people coming and going, so it's hard to shoot a video and get it to be nice and quiet. This fish right here, not much to look at, dead center, the lyre tail there. That guy right there. He's almost 4. He was a fry when I moved into this house almost 4 years ago. And so, another thing I have is pond snails. Yeah, pond snails are great. They do actually clean up your tank, but damn do they reproduce fast. They're as bad as guppies. But yeah, the Ancharis is doing well. Anacharis, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. All of the stuff in that first 50-gallon I showed you came out of this tank as cuttings. But got an oddball mix, but I've been keeping the line of fish in this tank going for about 8 years. And so, even though a lot of them are ugly, I don't want to necessarily just get rid of them, because they tend to live a really long time. Let me show you my birthing tank. Now, this is a divided 20 long. And when I want to get a female to drop other unhit females, I put the females into this tank here. And so on this side, you can see there's a bunch of small fry there and no cover. That's because I put a mature female in here with lots and lots of plastic plants. And then I went ahead and after she dropped fry, I pulled her out, and then I pulled all the plants out, and then I sexed the fry and put them all into the other tanks. And I still have a rooster in the hen house, and there he is. Yellow snake right there. barely starting to color up. I got to pull him out, otherwise he's going to knock up all his sisters and I won't know what I've crossed them with. And here on the other side, yeah, I haven't done any cleaning on this tank yet today either, but you can see I have floating cover, lots of plastic cover, some moss balls, and then on this tank I run under gravel filtration and a couple of hang-on backs, one for each side of the divided part of the tank. Real fancy light setup there. And then here is my Endler tank. These are pure Endlers that have been colony breeding for a few years now. Got this tank also from my friend with the farm. It's pretty sparse. I need to go ahead and get some more live plants in here, some more cover. Going to be hucking these Endlers out, putting them up for sale soon. We've got some speckled crays in here also, just to kind of clean up, but I'm thinking about putting pond snails in because as annoying as they are, they do a pretty good job at cleaning up. But yeah, 50 gallons of Endlers. If you're ever bored on a Sunday, I tell you, get a bunch of tanks and then clean them out. Scrub the algae off. Obviously I didn't scrub the algae off the back, I just did it on the front so you could see the fish. I could care less about the back. I just want to be able to see the fish. A lot of people think that algae growing in your tank is ugly or gross, but to my mind, if you have stuff growing in your tank, it's a healthy tank, unless it's like mold. That's bad. And then over here, we have the harem tank. And this tank here I set up about a year ago. I put a lone female in it with lots of cover, and she dropped some fry. And so all of these fry, after being sexed, these were her daughters. And I put in one Endler hybrid with them. And he was a half-black snake with maybe some Moscow in him. A fish that was born in one of my tanks. And so I put him in with these girls, and he knocked them all up, and then he jumped out of the tank. Never recovered his body, so I don't know if he got sucked up in the pump or if he went down the drain, because you can see the faucet there. It's right behind my kitchen sink. I always forget how pretty these girls are because, well, I got a lot of tanks and a lot of other stuff going on. Anyway, this also has a cheap hang-on back filter. I go the cheap route because I'm an hour from the nearest pet store, so I have to deal with what I get from Walmart. Yeah, so this is my harem tank. I'm probably gonna put this big half-black female with the yellow tail into the birthing tank soon because I really want her fry. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Bye-bye.